Joining us now for more on the state of the NFL and for perspective on coaching in the NFL is former Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis. He's currently an advisor to the Arizona State Sun Devils football program and leads sports talent agencies Octagon's career development program. Coach Lewis, we thank you so much for talking with us tonight.
Linsey, thank you for having me.
So before we dive into what's been a rather controversial past few weeks for the NFL, we do want to start off with a huge and hearty congratulations to your beloved Bengals. What does it mean to you to see the team that you coached for 15 years now playing in the Super Bowl this weekend?
It's exciting, I think, really exciting. Obviously, there's a number of players that were there my last season there in Cincinnati, and obviously the ownership and so forth, and a few coaches. So it's really exciting for them to have this opportunity. It's great for the city of Cincinnati and their fans.
And now let's turn to the lawsuit by Brian Flores. In it, he accuses the league of being managed much like a plantation, and we certainly saw that same imagery in Colin Kaepernick's Netflix series. What do you make of these comparisons between the NFL and slavery?
Well, I think, obviously Coach is very frustrated about his situation, what went on in a number of, different areas. And I think that's, it's come to light. I think many coaches have felt like the opportunities for African-American coaches have been very limited, and their records and so forth are treated differently than our counterparts.
And do you feel that way? Because you're saying that, many do feel that way. Is that a sentiment that you share as well?
Well, I feel the opportunities seem to be very limited for whatever reason. I don't know why. And I do feel, that we've seen too many times where African-American coaches have been let go after a year, and they have had basically non-losing records, 8-8 a couple of times for coaches, and other coaches just seem to have more opportunity to continue. And Brian had a winning record. He's let go. After 3 seasons. We know the things that he said occurred there in the offices there in Miami, coming from ownership.
And Commissioner Goodell has called his allegations very serious on all levels. Now that the NFL hiring process for next season is complete, there are 2 black coaches out of 30 in the NFL and 3 multiracial coaches. Are black coaches being overlooked? What needs to change?
Yeah, there has to be a change. I think we need to continue to put more young black coaches in the offensive rooms, in the quarterback rooms, and with the offensive coordinator positions alongside the offensive coordinator as well, so they get these opportunities. That seems to be where the hiring pool is coming out of by ownership. So we have to continue to put these young qualified coaches in those situations so they get these opportunities as much as possible.
I'd like to play a clip for you from Nightline anchor Ted Koppel talking with a former baseball executive back in 1987 about a lack of diversity in baseball and sports in general. Take a listen.
And I guess what I'm really asking you is to, peel it away a little bit. Just tell me, why do you think it is? Is there still that much prejudice in baseball today?
No, I don't believe it's prejudice. I truly believe that they may not have some of the necessities to be let's say a field manager or perhaps a general manager.
You really believe that?
Well, I don't say that they're all of them, but they certainly are short. How many quarterbacks do you have? How many pitchers do you have that are black? It's same
yeah, but I mean,
applies.
I got to tell you, that sounds like the same kind of garbage we were hearing 40 years ago about players when they were saying, not really cut out. You remember the days, they hit a black football player in the knees, and no, that really sounds like garbage if you forget to say so.
It's not garbage, Mr. Koppel.
How much has the needle really moved with regard to black coaches in the NFL 35 years later? Have attitudes really changed?
Well, we haven't moved the needle enough, no question. We were moving in the right direction. It's taken a few steps back over the last 2 or 3 hiring cycles, no doubt about it, and the opportunities to continue to move forward. So we have to really press forward. The people who make decisions have to understand what the job of the head coach is. It's not to coach one player. It's to coach the entire football team and bring it out of the entire football team. And many of these people being hired, coaches, have not done that. They've not had that opportunity. They've not stood in front of the room and had responsibility. They may have had a title, but they really weren't ever doing that particular job. And that's why the cycle is such where we have 6, 7, 8 coaches fired each season because of that, because it's new to them. They can't handle that step up.
And Flores describes what he calls sham interviews. The teams have denied those claims. You've certainly interviewed for many coaching jobs over the course of your career. Do you feel that you ever encountered anything similar to what he describes?
Well, I thought I had one situation that was, I don't know that they had 100% made up their mind, but at least a sports anchor had got on TV on a very prominent network and said, hey, this is what's going to happen later in the week. And I was asked to come and speak with the club. And I said, hey, seems like they've already made their decision. They denied that. I went there, but they made that decision at the end of the week. So again, you have to go. You have to prepare to go, more importantly, and you have to go and show them why what the decision maybe was already made might not been the right decision. But I think it happened close to that. I'm not, Brian, obviously what he felt had happened this year.
And some have wondered if there needs to be a major shakeup in the NFL. In the NBA, for example, players refused to play in the bubble after the shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. LeBron tweeted at the time, "We demand change, sick of it." The NFL, of course, made up of 70% black players. Do players, would you say, need to throw some of their weight around? Would that make a difference?
Well, again, I don't know that, I think the players would have an influence. But I don't know if this is the time for that's got to be something that they feel strongly about. And maybe it's club to club. It might be, because it's not 100%. Some probably are going about it the correct way. And so I don't think there's any room for a blanket statement. But if I think players feel that way, a particular club, then they should voice their opinion.
And you lead the sports talent agency Octagon's Career Development, where you focus on trying to further diversity in the most senior levels across sports. Do you feel that you're making progress, significant progress?
Well, we're just getting started on that. And I'm really hopeful that what has happened this hiring cycle in football, at least, that we can make some progress through that with development of these coaches. Myself helping to prepare them, along with the guys in the other areas, Brad Daugherty, et cetera, in basketball, Mike Pope, Mike Wood, in hockey and soccer, respectively. So we feel comfortable with that. We're excited about beginning this and trying to help prepare people, whether it's transition from playing to coaches who want to have some upward mobility. And so I'm excited about the opportunity to do that.
So, of course, we know that you are biased. Let's end this on an upbeat. But any predictions, Rams, Bengals this weekend?
Well, I don't have much predict. I'm not a good predictor. I think it's going to be a good football game. I've really got one of my ex-players on the other side with the Rams, who I'm very endeared to. I wouldn't have had the success I had in Cincinnati without an Andrew Whitworth on my side. So, they got people on both sides that you're coaches and so forth alike that you're rooting for. So it's going to be a good football game.
All right. Former head coach Marvin Lewis, we thank you so much for sharing your perspective. All the best to you and your beloved Bengals this weekend as well.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.